following program is sponsored by John Chachis Insurance, your local farmers insurance agent located 800 Avenue G in Ely, and brought to you as a public service by KGTV Channel 10 in Ely, Nevada. Ely City Council meeting, October 24th, 2019.
We'll call this meeting to order. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, as our council gathers today, we ask that you guide and counsel them in their deliverance, that they will work together to help make this community the best that it can be. Be with the people who work freely to keep our community safe and clean, and bless all the people living here to be in your safe and loving care. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I'll ask for the roll call.
Mayor Robertson.
Present.
Councilman Blanca.
Present.
Councilman Spear.
Present.
Councilman Allworth.
Present.
Councilwoman Beecher.
Present.
City Attorney Kyle.
Here.
Public Works Supervisor Craycraft.
Here.
City Treasurer Trask.
Here.
Thank you. With that, we will open up for public comment. 3-minute time limit on these. Please state your name prior to your public comment and speak clearly into the microphone. Public comment is now open.
My name is Terry McIntosh. I represent the High Desert Trailblazers on the issue of your ordinance on the OHVs. I just want to state that our club is not in favor of mandatory liability insurance for all OHVs. That encompasses a lot of different types of vehicles. I think by doing so, you'd be building a fence around Ely and White Pine County. We went through this with the county a few years ago, and no other city or county that I know of is entertaining this. And as far as I know, a lot of our neighboring states are not positive on this, but I don't think they require mandatory insurance. NRS 490 already affords an option for mandatory insurance to get the special sticker for larger OHVs, which allows you to operate on city streets. And I think you'd be putting the burden on the public by doing this. I think about 80% of the town doesn't even know we have an ordinance over that for designated streets. I'm not sure on your language here, but it looks like you might be trying to prohibit those of us that do have the special sticker from traveling on the city streets, which is already approved by the state. We wouldn't be in favor of that either. We paid for the sticker. We already have insurance. It's mandated by NRS 490. One other exception I have here is the nighttime clause you have in there. There's no such clause in
change for daytime use only. And like I said, you talk about conformity with NRS 490, but how about conformity with the rest of the counties and town? You're gonna put yourself aside from all of that. And I think you're gonna see a problem. You know, we were asked to help out with tourism, economy of the city. So we got involved with the city council to begin with.
Terry,
3 minutes.
that's your 3 minutes, but like I said, I'll give you 5 on behalf of the OHV Club here in the agenda item later. Any other public comment?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Randy Larson. I'm also a member of the High Desert Trail Group that I believe has been very progressive in helping the city come up with plans for the use of OHVs on city property and road designations. I would like to address this issue in the fact that I believe that the city should move in the direction of educating the community. It's very new. We have not had a lot of time to look at this issue. Many people aren't even aware of the OHV traffic ability in the city. So I think if we work with the community and do a number of things, we have time now. Winter's coming on, OHV activity is going to be reduced. So I think we need to take a look at ways to find more grants if they're available. See if we can get additional signage, see if we can bring in some spokespersons that can help the community on this issue, to educate people, work with them. Just as an example of, I'm not sure, where this is going, but when I was on board with the Nevada Northern Railroad, numerous times Mr. Bassett would bring up the issue of high-speed traffic on OHVs down on Avenue A. And numerous times he would call the sheriff's office to only be told that, unfortunately, we can't catch these people. So, that leads me to the question of, if we pass this law, is it even enforceable? Is it going to work? Is it only to penalize the entire community? Who, I really feel that's what something like this will do. I've noticed personally in my neighborhood, the street that I live on, I call it the second main freeway of Ely, 16th Street, that since many of these laws, this allowance to go on highways have been allowed, people are taking their OHVs, their motorcycles, and they're driving in a very sensible manner now. This information is available. Let's give it time and let's spread it out. I think that would increase the safety. I think the other thing is I think if we're going to look at this, we need to look at it from the statistical analysis. Are the vehicle traffic accidents in relation to OHVs that dramatic when compared against vehicle-to-vehicle accidents? Do we really have an issue here? Let's address that. I believe actually if we put this back in, then I wouldn't doubt to see the speed increase again, because people think that by running down the street at 50 miles an hour, they have less chance of being apprehended by the police department. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other public comment?
Mr. Mayor, I've got some public comments to be read into the record.
Okay.
Respectfully, I apologize for not being able to make it personally tonight to express my concerns and suggestions due to commitments at David E. Norman Elementary. I am writing in regards to the proposed changes to the city's OHV policies, Title VI, Chapter 12, Section 2, which would restrict, regulate, and put a financial burden on OHV usage in the city of Ely, and ultimately decrease the city's desirability to OHV users looking to visit or relocate to the area. Since becoming the Director of Tourism almost a year and a half ago, the outdoor recreation community has stepped up to support diversifying the reasons people would visit or relocate to our area. Ely has great potential to grow through promoting its diverse quality of life and encouraging the community to participate in the activities we are promoting to tourists. Outdoor recreation is a key element in the rebranding of people's impression of Ely and revitalizing the local economy. While we truly are at the beginning stages of trying to revitalize the community, we saw record-breaking occupancy rates, room tax revenue, and attendance at events from out of area. We have already held 2 public planning meetings regarding outdoor recreation, each with over 50 people attending, representing 15 recreation user groups, as well as Governor Office and Economic Development, the USDA Rural Development. We have emphasized through our promotions our OHV-friendly community and city policies. We have created a dynamic page to our website dedicated to OHV users, linking maps and resources. We have created OHV-specific promotional videos, photos, including an OHV-specific episode on Wild Nevada on PBS. The new business has even opened with the promise of OHV use expanding. The OHV community in Nevada contributes $1.7 million to spending for day-to-day operations and generates an additional $1.6 million in economic activity within the state, for a total operational impact of $3.3 million annually. Do you want to miss out on that by creating unfriendly policies? Upon reading the ordinance, there are equally as good points as there are bad. In section 612.4, there are quite a few changes that are illegible. My opinion of this ordinance is that it is incomplete and needs to be tabled until the council does their due diligence with the community. Neither tourism or the High Desert Trailblazers were reached out to or contacted for opinion on the impact of these changes. There is no future for the city of Ely unless its elected officials can build this relationship with citizens through communication and collaboration. The High Desert Trailblazers are organized, contribute heavily. That was from Kyle Horvath. The next one is, after reading the backup material, I'm hoping that the city council votes unanimously to support the request from the Ely Fire Department. We have outstanding EMTs and do a great service to the residents of White Pine County and the city of Ely. This proposed program and training will greatly enhance their ability to administer more care out in the field. On behalf of the Chamber Board of Directors, I urge you to vote yes on this item. Wayne Cameron, Executive Director, White Pine Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Carla. Any other public comment?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, on your agenda item 8C7, you're to consider increasing adoption fees for dogs. I'm against that. You're going to make it harder for someone to pay for the adoption. You need to establish a cat license fee similar to that for dogs. Dog owners should not have to bear the full burden of financing animal control. You got to spread it out later. You want those dogs to move out of there and get adopted, don't increase the fees. Mr. Mayor, on your agenda item 8C9, you're to consider changing meeting times for the city council to 1 p.m. Are you trying to hinder people from attending city council meetings? How is the working public able to attend? On one hand, you take part in democracy, and on the other hand, you're creating a financial burden to those that may have to leave their job without pay in order to address an issue that affects them. Democracy is not just for rich people. Mr. Mayor, you have yet to put me on the agenda for a variance so that I and my family can use our property on Stevens Avenue as others are using theirs. We were renting RVs and fifth wheels for years. That doesn't include those that we purchased the property from. They were using it for RVs, fifth wheels, and trailers. I want to remind you, Keith Carson is in violation of your trailer park codes, and he's conducting business while he or his wife is complaining about me and citations are issued to me or my tenants. Can't have it both ways. Mr. Carson is putting modular homes in a trailer park in clear violation of city code. Where's your building inspector? Eureka? Mr. Mayor, I came to City Hall earlier in the week to get a building permit to re-roof house I own, and I was refused. I was told I had to hire a contractor. Your building inspector is selectively enforcing the law, under color of law. Others are getting their permits. I want to remind you, your building inspector has yet to correct the poor roofing job I had on my building, 570 Altman, and I experienced another leak this last week when we had rain. I'll bring you a video of that. You forced me to pay permits for protection and then failed to give me proper inspections. That poor contractor, as your inspector calls him, has yet to finish replacing the brick on my building that he removed. Yet he is out and about working in the city without any impunity. The city either has laws or it doesn't. You can't have it both ways. Mr. Mayor, you've yet to correct the building on my property at 490 High Street. You're overbilling me when I have credits coming. You refuse to give me a permit to do my roof. I intend to hold you people responsible for any damages. How long do I have to wait? You need to bring the utility billing back to City Hall. Those that can't do their job, Mayor, have got to go. How long is this going to take? I've been on this issue now for over a year. Mr. Mayor, the Planning Commission and the City Council today does not address the city code violation by a member of the City Planning Commission as well as the Ely City Councilman Ernie Flangus. They need to comply with city codes that they have formulated and or adopted or resign.
Thank you,
City
George.
cannot selectively enforce the law. That's blatant discrimination. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Seeing none, we will move on to item 3, mayor discussion for possible action, approval of agenda, including removal of agenda items.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to, on section C, new business, item number 5, remove that from the agenda as being premature.
You better remove your table.
It needs more study, I don't know, remove table, what's the difference?
Not much, yeah.
Table then, needs more research to talk about, but that's fine.
I'm not opposed to that. It's just the council is going on. Are there any other items that they need to or have mentioned there? If not, I'll entertain a motion on this item.
I make that motion?
Okay.
I'll make that motion to remove item 5 under section C, new business to a further date.
I guess the motion would be to approve the agenda with removal.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it is.
I would support that.
Any other discussion on this? I know there was some discussion on that as to some additional costs that were included in the initial report from the fire department that we can look into. So I'm okay with that. If there's no other discussion, I'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried and so ordered. Item 4, city department reports, fire chief. Do we have anybody here speaking for the fire department today? Or any questions from the council regarding the report? Okay. Police chief? Someone from the sheriff's office here? Municipal court judge? Evening, Judge Gospel.
Good evening, Mayor, and members of the council. You have my materials that were submitted to the report. If you have any questions, I'd certainly like to take them. And I wanted to mention that just a day and a half ago, we got the first set of blueprints for the new courthouse for us to take a look and see how the layout for the municipal court staff and the courtroom would be. It all looks great as far as I can tell. And they invited comments as time goes by. I know they're still making revisions. I don't think we have proposed revision that's what we're talking about. Okay?
Any questions for Judge Gospel?
Is it possible, Judge, to change the color where it's dark to a lighter color? I have a hard time, that dark blue seems black in there. If you don't make it lighter, or what's the whole idea of
I
color?
would love to learn more about graphic design, and I'll find out.
Yeah, it's just, I
Would
can't.
you like a copy of that one? for the
That page,
library?
wherever the dark blue is, I can't see the black numbers in there.
Okay.
That's one that James and Mackenzie generate. report.
Oh, is that one that comes from council, one that comes from?
Just for
Just
this-
clerk's office?
This shows it was prepared by Linnea Pringle.
Right, I think so, thank you. Yeah, the printout, I get black and white, I'm able to read it, but let me see if I can be
Okay,
checked.
appreciate that.
Sure thing.
I just have one
Is that you
question.
gonna have more questions, next time?
Yeah, I had one question if I can.
Okay, yeah.
It was on that, it was on the second page about domestic violence. I think if I remember right, is domestic violence, then it's dismissed before a trial. What's that, somebody, how do they work that, you know, is it somebody?
That would be a question you have to address to the city attorney. The pretrial dismissals are handled exclusive, or out of the control of the court. Only once someone's charged, and they get arraigned, do we have anything to do with it.
Okay,
I don't know.
all right, thank you.
Okay. And as a reminder, or an update, it might be, where we left it last time, because of the Supreme Court decision on domestic violence cases, all being subject to request for a jury, which our court is not authorized to do by law, which the Ely City Municipal Court is not. All domestic violence cases, starting from first and second, which typically could have been and have historically been charged in our court, will no longer be charged in our court, period. The trial period for that by consent, by agreement in a discussion with the city attorney prosecutors, the mayor and I, is that we'll let that float basically until the end of the fiscal year, at which time we'll examine whether the Supreme Court or the state law has changed anything that might bring that business, if you call it that, back to our court.
Well, it was an interim solution, as I understood it,
Yeah.
until the state attorney general came up with some
Yeah.
other more official fix.
We're gonna wait and see if there's gonna be a change, at which time we can reconsider it. Otherwise, at going into June 30th, we'll take a look at it. We don't have the authority to handle jury trials. So the alternative would be to charge in our court, but then in the majority of the cases that would seek a jury, they'd have to be transferred over to justice court. That could have a significant downside for the city, in that we could be stuck with the public defender bill, but the revenue from the case and the conduct of the case would take place in a county court. So that's kind of a lose-lose situation. So for the time being, we all concur that the district attorney's plan to charge all domestic violence within White Pine County and the city of Ely in the justice court is the most prudent course, pending a significant change. Revenue-wise, in terms of our budget, it won't be huge, it will be measurable. It's going to be upwards of 8%, 7% of the fees that we collect over the course of a year. Of course, it didn't happen at the beginning of the year, so it'll be less than that this year, but we'll manage that going forward. If there's any changes, I will bring it up. If you have any questions on that now or later, I'd be glad.
Any other questions for Judge Costa? Thank you.
Okay.
City Clerk?
I've been working on grants, including preparing an application for the OHB Commission for education materials, and also on the CDBG grant that we've received, working with Basin Engineering to work out floodplain and SHPO requirements. I received an email today from ECT on the AWOL computers for the wastewater treatment plant. Good news, we found the computers from another vendor and they are in stock and will ship tomorrow. So, and they are absorbing the extra freight cost. So we're very pleased about that. And then we have received some attorney applications for the full-time position. City Treasurer Trask has been doing work on that, and we are still receiving applications.
Any questions for the clerk? Thank you. City Treasurer? Your report. Any questions for the Treasurer? City Public Works Supervisor?
I have nothing, unless you have any questions.
Any questions for Mike? Okay, thanks, Mike. City Water Operator? Any questions on the report from, I guess we didn't have one.
We didn't have a report today. Raul was in the Ely today, and he was working with us, and we've got several deadlines for our wastewater treatment plant, and so we met with Dave with Basin Engineering and worked out all the logistics of those.
Okay. City Engineer? Anything to report?
I think we finally got our SCADA system working in off-peak hours. I mean, it was kind of a headache to do and work through. It's not perfect yet. There's a few little bugs that we still need to work through. I thought Mike Franklin was going to be here this week, but he did not make it, so when he gets here, hopefully next week we can finalize those little quirks we got to take care of. We did have Brad and myself had a meeting with the county last week, going over, trying to see what we can do to kind of share some of that GIS that they use, so we have to build our own, we can partner up with them. And so the assessor's going back and gathering some more information, and then we'll get back together based on what he finds and see what the next step will be. So I thought it was pretty positive. Jennifer kind of touched base on a couple of the things we're doing with the wastewater treatment plant and some CDBG stuff there. Been doing a lot with Alton Street. The contractor and NDOT were both in town this week. We had multiple days with the meeting with them, going over everything else. And so things seem to be continuing going down that path of falling into shape. So hopefully that stuff will come together a little bit here shortly. And couple meetings back, the last meeting we approved that share easement agreement, whatever that is scheduled for. The second half of that agreement is on county commission meeting, first meeting in November. So hopefully at that point in time, all that stuff will be taken care of, and that'll be a big thing settled so that NDOT can continue with their project, because without that easement, NDOT's basically dead in the water. So hopefully that will come together in a couple weeks ago.
Any questions for the engineer? Thank you, DJ. City building official, don't believe you're here tonight. We'll move on to item 5, reports. City council, Ernie, we'll start with you tonight.
Yes, I'd like to mention, last Friday night I went to a dinner that was one of our EMTs and sheriff's department and firemen and whatnot at the Arts Hall. It was a very nice affair and very well done. Unfortunately, didn't have the turnout that I would have expected to see there. But I'm thankful and I attended that. Other than that, I have still been working with the State Tax Commission and talking to them as recent as yesterday. And I got the word that with the problems that I keep giving them, they say we can only solve those problems by taking them within our own hands and negotiating with the county to rid ourselves. I'd like to pass this down. This is tax rolls. They're not mine. They're all the same. I borrowed it from a friend. So you can take a good look at, this is your property tax rolls. You take a good look at it, and you just go right down the list and take a look at the city of Ely. And you can see how much money the city of Ely gets from our property taxes. For those of you that can't see it here, it's zero. Now, I still say we have to do some negotiating with the county to get our property taxes, to get other items, such as the co-op agreement that we have with the county concerning the hospital, which terminated in 2016, yet they're still collecting taxes for that. So we keep on financing the hospital. Yet, people are unhappy with the fact that we don't have decent streets. We haven't been able to buy the right products that we need to maintain in our parks and our cemetery and whatnot. And this is a good reason why. So I think beginning the first part of the year, we should sit down and negotiate with the county and get what is due to the city. Any questions?
Reports right now. Thank you, Ernie.
You're welcome.
Ed, you
I have nothing for tonight.
Jim?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I attended the required meetings that you assigned me to, and I'd just like to also report that on the paramedic issue, my brothers and sisters in the fire service are out there in support. You know, I'm a 36-year member of the volunteers, 21 years as an EMT. I'd like to get with the liaison of the fire department, Michelle, and relay some of my thoughts and issues. It's a great department, the best in the whole state. But I still have to wear the hat for a city official and look at the good of the city financially. And I think there's potential for this to happen, but I'd like to relay my thoughts to Michelle, let her carry on to the group.
Sure.
So that's my report on that, I'll get with her on that.
Anything else to report?
No, sir.
Okay. Michelle?
This week I attended a meeting with the representative for the company who is charged with redoing the state rail plan. Mark Bassett was in that meeting, a few other people. We kind of just went over almost like a dream list of things that could possibly happen with the railway. Also attended the NNRDA board meeting this week, so.
Thank you. For my report, I don't know that I have anything to report. There we go. We'll move on to item 6, which is a public hearing. The mayor will recess the regular city council meeting for a public hearing at 5:30 PM on the following topics. City council, or council member, city clerk lead, public hearing, discussion only, approval of City of Ely Water Conservation Plan, update draft to be submitted to the Nevada Division of Water Resources for final approval. So we will entertain discussion on this item. Is there any from the public?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, in that study, if I'm not mistaken, there was a concern for backflow devices. The city is not consistent in its enforcement. You either have rules or you don't. Some are forced to put into it, put them in, they even threaten they're going to close their businesses down, and yet others in the community go on from year to year, no impunity, no response. So either take that portion out of there or enforce the law. One of the two. You can't have it both ways. And you can't do it selectively. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Any other discussion from the public on the water conservation plan? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 2. Council members, city attorney Pyle, public hearing, discussion only. Approval of second reading of ordinance 726, bill number 2019-09, an ordinance adding chapter 5 to title 2 of the city code of the city of Ely to create, in collaboration with the White Pine County Board of County Commissioners, a regional planning commission pursuant to chapter 278 of the Nevada revised statutes. We will entertain discussion on this item.
We'd like to ask, did you ever get any feedback from the city planning commission regarding this deal?
We did, as I understand.
Yes, we did, and they voted in favor of recommending.
Seeing no public comment or other discussion on this, we'll close. Well, we'll leave that, and we'll move on to item 7, discussion possible action items pertaining to the public hearing. Item 1, council members, city clerk, discussion for possible action, approval of City of Ely Water Conservation Plan update draft to be submitted to the Nevada Division of Water Resources for final approval. I will entertain a motion on this item.
I would move to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion on this item. Did you have something?
I do have, under page 9, number 1, has several questions about that. You put on the third paragraph, non-metered residential city BD customers charge an additional 23 cents per 100 square foot of outside landscape and whatnot. Yet the White Pine County users is only 8 cents. Why is the city residents paying more than the county?
I had that same question, and that's certainly something I think we need to look
I can't
into.
do this that way.
Yeah.
That will not go for it. The next one was, you go down the next paragraph, and the city residents, if they use over the $15,000, 15,000 gallons of metered water, it costs them 75 cents per 1,000 gallons over that 15. The county user gets up to 25 cents, 1/3 the cost. I think we need to redo this before we submit it.
I can only imagine that's got to be some kind of typo.
The county pays a surcharge for their water outside of the city limits, but I think the water rates are still always the same.
It's not that much.
Well, it's a third different on the residential outdoor water for county versus city. County's a third less.
Right. That's what it's under there, total city. But what I'm saying,
And then
the
this
original
one is-
cost, I thought he was talking about the original 15,000 is not that far off the county, it's more than the first 15,000. If they take over that, so they use 30,000 gallons that month, they get it for 25 cents per 1,000 gallons, where the city residents are gonna get it for 75 cents. I think those are reversed or something haywire there, and there's some other typos in there, but I give them already to.
Is there a time frame that this needs to be approved in?
There
Yeah,
is,
first
but
year.
we have time to table this and get those corrected.
Because I think there was also a correction on page 7, item D, that number doesn't make any sense. So I think we need to look at
Water
that.
operator, water operator in Toronto indicated we need to have it turned into MDET by the end of the year.
Okay.
So we just address it the next meeting.
So if you guys want to withdraw your motions, we can table this.
Okay, I would withdraw that.
We'll withdraw in a second.
Do I have a motion to table?
Move the table.
Do I have a second? Any further discussion on this? All in favor? Any opposed? Carried and so ordered. We'll move on to item 2, council members, city attorney file discussion for possible action. Approval of second reading of ordinance 726, bill number 2019-09, an ordinance adding chapter 5 to title 2 of the city code of the city of Ely to create in collaboration with the White Pine County Board of County Commissioners a regional planning commission pursuant to chapter 278 of the Nevada revised statutes. I will entertain a motion on this item. If we're gonna have discussion, you can just motion in second without voting yea for it.
I would move to.
Do I have a second? For the purposes of discussion only. Okay. Discussion on this item?
The only question I had is probably the legal one, is that we have 3 from both entities, which makes really good sense unless you have a tie. And how would you break that tie with the 3 and 3? Would that go to the entity, whether it be the county or the city that the affected permit would be involved with?
You know, we never got to the bottom of that.
How do you break a tie?
Did the county approve this though?
There's got a signed copy in here from the county, but
They approved it without getting to the bottom, because I remember
They
there was
did, yeah.
discussion on that.
There was, yeah. So it's unresolved.
I don't think we can go past more as we can, because we can wind up sometimes somebody up, especially when we're talking planning commission stuff. We need to have some way to break that tie, whether it be, I thought today, coming home, if the permit or the application was before the regional planning commission, but the applicant was in Ely, would that automatically revert then, that tiebreaker would be resolved by the city, not by the commission?
So in a tiebreak, it would refer to the
Affected entity.
the entity exactly where the land exists.
That's
one
why
way
I
to
can see
resolve
that
it.
in there.
Okay.
That's something I had.
I had a question about legal representation on that, where it says that neither the city attorney nor the county DA were the ex officio representation for, so do they have to get their own representation?
It just leaves the door open for whatever we want to resolve,
Okay.
right?
It doesn't preclude
Does not preclude.
the
The
city or
idea
the
was
county from
to leave it
representing.
open so there could be a discussion, so it would not automatically just basically bind the DA's office outside of the statute to a duty that the DA's office doesn't necessarily have.
Would there be a way to approve this but still find a solution to the tie issue?
We could amend this.
I think so, yeah, I mean, so we can, the city can approve it with this amendment, with the proposal for that resolution of the tie. They've already approved it, so it's gonna have to go back before an entire ordinance
Might be split after the
to go through, yeah.